What's going on, y'all? We are back today with another video. Today we are going over a beginner chest routine. So someone that's just getting to the gym, doesn't really know where to start, this video is going to be for you. I will say though, as like an experienced lifter, as someone who's been lifting for like 10 plus years, this is also a good workout for me. So if you've been lifting, this video is still for you. Like, you're still going to get a good workout out of it. I just chose movements that aren't going to be too difficult for someone that's just starting out. So we're gonna get right into it. First movement is an incline dumbbell press. All right, so you'll notice that the bench that I'm using is at a slight incline. It's not flat. All right, so there's gonna be different levels that you can put the bench. Too high and it's gonna hit more like front delt. If you're straight up, it's gonna hit your shoulders completely. Too low, it's just gonna hit like your overall chest. If I'm going really heavy on incline, I'll put it pretty low. Like here's a flat, here's the bench flat. I'll put it like right here, and hit it if I'm going like really heavy for power. Today we're going in the middle, so I put the bench about right here, right in the middle. Okay. So for form, when I kick the dumbbells back, you'll notice that my chest is very high. Okay. So when I'm benching any bench, whether it's dumbbell, barbell, incline, flat, decline, I am bringing my shoulders back, which automatically, if you notice when I bring my shoulders back, it's gonna puff my chest out. Okay, so retracting your scapula is what it's called. Bringing your shoulder blades together, which is also engaging your lats, which is very important because you have to think about it. Like, your back is the whole base of the movement. Like, you are laying on your back. Your back has to be contracted. It has to be involved. That's like your whole stability. It's like, if your back isn't involved, it'd be like driving a car without a frame. You know what I'm saying? So back, so shoulders are back. Back is now tight onto the bench. Chest is up, okay? Now from a side view, when I'm hitting any sort of press, my shoulders are not torqued back, right? It's not a 90-degree angle. You're not bringing your arms all the way back like this, okay? You are going to slightly bring them in. You want it to be comfortable. This right here is gonna put way too much pressure on your joints, especially when we get heavy. Like, you can't press like that and press heavy weight. It's not gonna be good for you. It's not gonna be good for your shoulders. It's just like absolutely a no-go. So instead of being like right here, you're gonna be right about here. All right. So if I was laying flat, this would be the perfect place for my elbows to hang out. Not up here, right here. Another thing for form is you're always gonna wanna pretty much keep your wrist above your elbow. Okay, so when I'm right here, my wrist is gonna fall right above my elbow because you're kind of like pushing up. When I'm pressing, I'm pushing up through my elbow, okay? So this is a shoulder press, for example, because I'm seated up, but like, I'm pushing up through my elbow. My triceps are involved, your back is involved, your triceps involved. That's gonna be the whole base for the movement. If you're like out here, you have no support. Like, you're literally like gripping for dear life onto the dumbbell, so it's not gonna fall. So back tight, chest up, elbows down just a tad, feet flat on the floor, glutes tight. You are pressing up, you're gonna explode up, and then control it down. For the sets and reps, I warmed up, used some lighter weight. I worked my way up to the 50-pound dumbbells, which I did from, honestly, they felt a little lighter today, so I did anywhere from like 8 to 12 reps. You don't want to use a weight that you can do more than 12 reps because then we're getting into too much volume. We're kind of like slowly working on heavier weights. The first 2 sets, 8 to 12 reps, working with like a medium heavy weight. After that, if you do feel comfortable, for the last 2 sets, you can go up. So I went up to the 60s, I believed, and I did anywhere from like 5 to 6 reps. I just maxed out for my last 2 sets. Now, if you want to stay at a lighter weight and work with those 8 to 12 reps, that's going to be completely fine. It's all up to you and like how experienced you are. Since this is a beginner series, that might work. Also, if you're having trouble with form, you can always go to like a machine press, a machine incline press. That's also going to be easier. All right, next up we have a chest fly. So a chest fly is a little bit of a harder movement. That's why I picked a machine, because you can do like cable chest flies, you can do dumbbell chest flies. It's really easy to get your shoulders involved with flies. So with the machine, the movement's more guided. One way that people get their shoulders involved way too easily with chest fly is when they are coming back out, their shoulders start rounding like this. Okay, that's why you want to keep that chest up. So when I'm bringing that back, that chest up, my shoulders are automatically coming back. All right, so it's really easy to start going like this. This is all front delt, and to be honest, the shoulder is like a really weak joint, right? It's a ball and socket. You have two ball and socket joints. You have your shoulders and your hips. Both shoulders and hips end up having a lot of complications because a ball and socket joint relies so much on all of those little muscles to kind of keep it in place, to keep it together, all right? So if you're expanding back like this, your ball and socket is gonna start rubbing on everything around it, and it's gonna cause a pinching pain. So if you're feeling a pinching pain, that might be why, because your shoulders are getting too involved in the fly, all right? So extending back, my shoulders are coming back as well. You see right here, my chest is all expanded out. Now with my shoulders like this, my chest is no longer stretched out. But right here, stretched out, not stretched out. So you want to keep that chest up and that back nice and tight. We're going some volume with this movement, all right? We are hitting about 12 to 15 reps. Now, as I got better at weightlifting, I started to use more weight with the chest fly. But when I first started out, I did keep it very light, especially because chest fly is a weaker movement when you're starting out. I remember like when I first did chest fly, I could barely, I was in like the first plate and I could barely move it. Like it was such an uncomfortable movement. Now that I'm more comfortable with it, I've gained strength within that movement. I can move some heavier weight. But for that 10 to 15, 12 to 15 reps, you want to keep it pretty light and focus on the squeeze at the top. All right, so next up, I did a machine press and I kept it at a neutral grip. So this is probably going to feel the most comfortable for anybody starting out. The outward grip, again, it's gonna be a little bit more wear and tear on your shoulders if you're not doing proper form. I chose the neutral grip, which is gonna definitely feel like the easiest type of grip to do with a press. So again, I'm pushing my back into the back of the mat, chest up nice and tall. I am starting close to my chest, and then I am extending my arms out, and then controlling it on the way down. So exploding on the way up, controlling on the way down. So for this movement, I did 4 sets. First 2 sets, I went a little heavier, and I did anywhere from like 8 to 12, kind of similar to that first movement. And then once I felt like I was getting a good squeeze, I actually lowered the weight this time instead of adding more on. And I did anywhere from like 12 to 15 reps, really just focusing on extending my chest and squeezing. So starting off with a higher weight for the first 2 reps, and then going to a lower weight for the last 2 reps. Now for the last movement, I actually hit some triceps. In any push movement, your triceps are gonna be involved. Like if I'm starting down here and I push and I lock out, my triceps are pushing through as well. So if you're trying to get a big bench, it's also important to train your triceps to get stronger triceps, because it is the base. At one point, I remember I was really stuck. I couldn't get past 175 in bench press, because I would like bench, and I'd get up to here, and then my elbows would start shaking like uncontrollably. It's because my triceps weren't strong enough. I didn't have the ability to lock it out through my elbows. So I hit a little bit of triceps. This movement isn't so much for strength. It was more so just for a pump, kind of to end on a strong note on a pump. You know, gotta get an arm pump before you leave. So I did 5 sets. I worked up to like, honestly, not too heavy of a weight. I did anywhere from 10 to 15 reps. Closer to the 15 though, as long as I got past that 10, but definitely closer to 15 because I'm hitting volume, because I didn't hit any other triceps like directly during this workout. So I wanted to just get some volume and push a bunch of blood into the muscle. So I go from 10 to 15 reps, definitely closer to the 15. And then on that last set, I did a drop set. So I would drop like 1 or 2 plates and then just go until I couldn't anymore, drop a plate, go until I couldn't anymore, drop the plate, go until I couldn't anymore. And I did that like 3 times. And when you're doing this movement for form, you want to keep your chest up nice and tall and elbows kind of like by your side. When I'm talking about like biceps or tricep movements, I always talk about your elbow being like a hinge. So when you're hitting bis and tris, this portion of your arm stays kind of like locked in place, and this portion of the arm is moving. You'll see me swinging a little bit. That's because I'm kind of like feeling like the motion of the movement. If you're starting off, really try and keep those elbows right by your side, but don't pin it. That's not gonna help anything. Some people I see, they kind of like get like glued to their sides. You don't want to do that. You want to keep a nice little like space between your side and the elbow, but you do want to lock it kind of in location and come down, squeeze nice and tight, and then come up as far as you can. And that is my beginner chest routine. If you're just starting out at the gym, these 3 key movements are going to help propel you. Like once you get these movements down, you're gonna be able to do more things for chest. You're gonna be able to mix it up with the dumbbells, with the barbells especially. You wanna have a base before you touch barbells for bench. You wanna understand the pushing movement. Barbells is really easy to injure your shoulders. Like I'm talking like so easy. Like a lot of people like don't do bench press, barbell bench press at all because it can be so finicky with their shoulders. I strengthened my shoulders because I was having a problem at one point, but I strengthened them and now my shoulders don't ever have an issue with bench. If you're looking and trying to find out like how you can get a bigger bench or like what the form is, click the link right here. It's my video showing you the proper form for a bench press. And then once you get the proper form down for a bench press, you can add it in front of all these and still do this workout plus the bench press at the beginning. If you're doing a power movement like bench press, you always want to do it the first thing so you're not fatigued. But that's all I got for y'all today. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have anything you want to see, any movement you want me to break down, any specific type of workout you want me to lay out for y'all, just let me know in the comments below. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment. Thank you guys so much. Until next time.